And I say higher and lower, it doesn't mean good or bad. It's just that's the situatedness. That's the extent to which the entity has raised and seeded their consciousness. That's the extent of their evolution. That is their spectra, nested spectra. They operate within the bandwidth of the spectra, and within that spectra there's a nested spectra that they operate within. Meaning there's layers to their consciousness, but in the general totality, this is as much as that they can express within the incarnative experience. Essentially, this is their mind condition, this is how they talk, this is how they act. They can change, however, do they choose freely and openly to change? Do they know that they deserve to change? Do they know that it's their free choice? They choose the mind condition through consequence. They choose and culture their mind condition through consequence. And they choose and culture their patterns and tendencies associated with that condition through consequence, moral consequences. Which again is light interacting with itself, various qualitative degrees of light interacting. Some human, some plant, some tree, some animal, some mineral, all interacting within the bandwidth of their consciousness. Some humans, there's a spectra of humanity, and each has a type of consciousness, and each of that type of consciousness therefore represents a mind condition cultured through choice and consequence throughout many incarnations, and represents the total distillate of where they are up to now. And so a person will conduct themselves relative to the spectra of evolution that they're actually operating within. Again, people tend to choose, and through choosing they believe they deserve to be there. Otherwise, why did you choose? You chose because you believe you deserve no other condition of mind, or you deserve no other series of mental environments on a continuum, which all share the same theme. Perhaps unworthiness, perhaps bellicosity, perhaps heteronomy, perhaps love, wisdom, unity, perhaps it's personal, subjective, and it's lower diet of mind, and it's one's stuck and confused and distorted, or it's higher diet of mind, one is getting unclear and unstuck and undistorted, 4-5 chakra. There's a whole spectra out there. And so we just have to bear in mind that this isn't a judgment on who's good or bad. It's more just, there's a spectrum of consciousness. Some have lower and higher consciousness, just as there are lower and higher scales in music.